Today, I want to share with you 5 things about Israel that you might not know. Hi, I'm Ron Cantor from Tiferet Yeshua Congregation in Tel Aviv. Stick around to the end of the video and I'm going to tell you how to get a free ebook. First, when most people think about Israelis, they envision one type of person, Israelis. However, we are a melting pot of dozens of nations. After 1948, Jews returned from Iraq, Morocco, Iran, Egypt, Yemen, and from virtually every European nation. In the 80s and early 90s, Jews were airlifted from Ethiopia, and in 1991, the Great Russian Absorption began. Around 1 million Russian-speaking Jews made an exodus from the place that Jeremiah called the land of the north. What this means is that Israel is a multi-ethnic society with different foods and cultures. Most of the humor in Israel is very politically incorrect, as we make fun of all the different ethnicities and their peculiarities. It would never fly in the sensitive United States of America. When I mention to people that my wife's background is Moroccan, the first thing they say with a big smile is couscous. Moroccans are notorious for their delicious Middle Eastern cuisines. Second, Israel has become one of the top high-tech countries in the world. One article said, "Tiny Israel, a country embroiled in conflicts for decades, has managed to transform itself from a stretch of farmland into a high-tech wonder," end quote. You probably don't know it, but instant messaging was actually invented in Israel. It was originally called ICQ, or I Seek You, before it was sold for millions to AOL. Israel is the #1 country in the world when it comes to high-tech startups per capita, with over 4,000 active startups. The son of close friends of ours spent his time in the army creating apps for the iPhone on the side. Without a degree in software engineering or anything else, he landed a job with a top software company immediately after completing his army service. Last year, 45% of Israel's exports were in the high-tech field. Third, while we're a small country, we have many different cultures based on geography. The greatest contrast is between Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. Jerusalem is a very religious city. In fact, if you drive on the Sabbath in certain neighborhoods, your car will get stoned. Tel Aviv, on the other hand, is one of the gay-friendliest cities in the world. I would like to think that all the rainbow flags are celebrating God's covenant with Noah, but I know better. There's a modern fable of 2 fathers and their young sons. One father was a religious Jew from Jerusalem, and in 1948, he took his son to Tel Aviv. Dressed in black with their heads covered with kippot, he pointed to all the sinners on the beach and he said, "Son, now that we have a nation, within 50 years, all Israel will return to God and become religious." However, on that same day, a secular man, an atheist even, he took his son from Tel Aviv to Mea Shearim in Jerusalem, the most ultra-Orthodox neighborhood in our country. All around them were religious Jews dressed in their uniforms of black, all donning long beards. The man turned to his son and he said, "Son, before we were a nation, we needed these people so that we could continue to be identified as Jews. But now that we have Eretz Yisrael, the land of Israel, we don't need a religion anymore." Fourth, the Bible says that the desert of Israel will blossom like a rose. Now, you can't do that without water, and Israel is always in drought conditions. However, an Israeli father-son duo, Simcha Blas and his son Yeshayahu, they're credited with inventing drip irrigation for modern times. When you visit Israel, you will see small hoses that make their way through gardens. Tiny holes release a tiny amount of water in intervals, and in this way, we are able to grow roses in the desert and beautify our cities. Blas and his son partnered with a local kibbutz, and together they started an irrigation company called Netafim, which means water drops. Their patented method is now used all over the world. And lastly, number 5. Many of you have turned on your televisions to see major news outlets all over the world refer to Israel's wall of separation. It's always accompanied by pictures of a massive 25 feet concrete wall. What you don't know is that our security fence, which, by the way, stopped terrorism in its tracks, is 97% mesh fence. Only 3% of that barrier is a concrete wall. And that's only because there were Arabs there that were shooting at Israeli motorists in those towns. Maybe you know of some other things that we haven't mentioned today about Israel. use the comment section to share your thoughts. I hope this video has been a blessing to you, and to get my free ebook, The 15 Most Important Facts About the Israeli-Palestinian Conflict, just go to roncan.net/15facts and make sure that the F is capitalized. This video has been brought to you by our congregation right here in Tel Aviv, Tiferet Yeshua, the glory of Yeshua. For more information, go to reachtelaviv.org. And while you're there, consider making a donation so we can continue to share the good news of Yeshua here in Israel and share these videos with you every week. Now make sure you subscribe so you never miss a video. Shalom from Tel Aviv.